Stand in the dusty mud brick streets of ancient Babylon 25 centuries ago, and you stand inside the beating heart of the whole world. This is not some crumbling ruin frozen behind a museum case. This is the largest, richest, most feared city on the entire face of the earth. 6 long centuries before Rome ever dreamed of ruling an empire, Babylon already ruled trade, religion, science, and the fate of every nation. Today, we will not simply tour these ancient walls from a distance. We will live inside one single ordinary day of a Babylonian family's life. Sunrise breaks slowly over the towering ziggurats, and the wide Euphrates River glows gold beneath a thick haze of rising desert morning heat. Inside a modest mud brick home tucked near the great Ishtar gate, a tired family begins to stir long before the punishing midday heat arrives. A tired mother kneels and grinds barley into coarse flour, the very same grain that has fed this ancient river valley for 2,000 years. Her husband checks his worn tools, a scribe's reed pens resting quietly beside a soft, damp tablet of clay, waiting to be carefully inscribed. Their eldest son is only 7 years old, yet already he is being carefully shaped for Babylon's rigid and completely unforgiving social order. Education here is never gentle. The scribal schools, called edubas, demand total obedience long before they ever demand real understanding. Boys copy endless cuneiform wedges for hours on end, until their small wrists ache and their tired young eyes never once dare to wander off. Only the sons of privileged families ever attend these schools. For most Babylonian children, simple survival is the only lesson ever taught. Outside their door, the streets are already alive, thick dust rising as carts, donkeys and merchants crowd every narrow, winding city road. The smell of roasting barley bread mingles with river mud, animal dung, and thick clouds of burning temple incense drifting slowly overhead. Vendors shout out their prices for dates, onions, dried fish, and coarse wool dyed in brilliant, expensive shades of deep, rich crimson red. Babylon's crowded markets pulse with far more raw wealth than most ancient cities will ever witness across their entire fragile lifetime here. Above it all rises the massive Etemenanke ziggurat, so towering that later writers believed it inspired the ancient biblical Tower of Babel. Priests climb its steep terraces at dawn, believing without any doubt that the gods themselves descend here to walk quietly among mortal men. Religion is never separate from daily life in this city. It is woven into every single meal, every doorway, and every quiet human heartbeat. Marduk, the chief god of Babylon, is honored in nearly every home, temple shrine, city gate, and crowded marketplace stall you might pass by. By mid-morning, the father walks briskly toward the palace district, where his quiet, exacting work as a royal scribe now finally begins again. Bureaucracy fuels this empire completely. Every trade, tax, harvest, and legal dispute is recorded carefully in precise cuneiform script here. Nearby, laborers haul freshly baked mud bricks toward new construction sites, sweat soaking through their simple, coarse, woven linen wraps. Slaves, debtors, and free laborers often work side by side beneath the same burning sun, their fates separated only by the thinnest of lines. Babylon's social hierarchy is strict and yet surprisingly fluid when compared to almost every other civilization across the ancient world. Women here can own property, run their own businesses, sign contracts, and even initiate divorce under the strict laws of Hammurabi's code. Still, class defines nearly everything, from the food one is allowed to eat to the harsh punishment given for committing that very same crime. By midday, the sun turns absolutely brutal, and the wealthy retreat behind thick, cooling mud brick walls built to hold back the fierce heat. The poor enjoy no such comfort at all, laboring for hours through heat that visibly shimmers above the sun-baked clay rooftops around them. In the shadow of the royal palace, the legendary hanging gardens are rumored to rise in impossible, terraced, blossoming green glory here. Whether myth or genuine memory, the very idea reveals exactly how Babylon saw itself: eternal, lush, powerful, and divinely blessed always. Children play in the narrow alleyways, dodging heavy carts while inventing simple games, far older than any written record of human history. Their laughter drifts past ancient temple walls that have already witnessed war, conquest, bitter rebellion, and stubborn, defiant rebirth. By afternoon, foreign merchants from Persia, Egypt, and distant Elambata loudly in the cooling shadow of the glazed and towering Ishtar gate. Its glistening blue bricks and golden sculpted lions loudly announce Babylon's power before a single spoken word ever even needs to be uttered. This towering gate is never just a simple entrance. It is a message to the whole world. Enter humbly and witness true, undeniable greatness. As evening falls, the family gathers for a simple meal of barley bread, onions, sweet dates, and cups of diluted local barley beer together. Beer is never a luxury item here in Babylon. It is safer than river water and consumed daily by nearly every single class of society here. Musicians nearby play soft reed flutes in the fading distance, their gentle melody drifting slowly through the cooling evening desert air. Storytellers speak softly of Gilgamesh, of ancient floods and restless gods, myths far older than Babylon's own towering sun-baked city walls. For one brief moment, rich and poor share something rare and equal: the same darkening sky stretched above the very same great ancient city. But true peace here is fragile. Babylon has already burned to the ground once before, and empires rarely stay untouched for very long at all. Assyrian armies once reduced these very streets to smoking ash, before Babylon rose again from ruin, defiant, rebuilt, and completely unbroken. That painful memory lingers quietly beneath every prayer, every mud brick, and every single lesson taught to a tired young scribe like him. Night finally falls, and the ziggurat's dark silhouette cuts sharply against a sky thick with stars and quiet ancient devotion below it now. Guards patrol the towering walls, the very same walls ancient writers once called one of the 7 true wonders of the entire known world. Somewhere below, the scribe's young son practices his cuneiform by flickering oil lamp, his eyes heavy, half asleep against the table now. He does not know it yet, but centuries from now, strangers from a distant future will study his ordinary world with pure and quiet wonder. Babylon will eventually fall to Persia, to time, and to shifting desert sand, yet its bold ideas will outlive every empire that ever follows. Its laws, its timeless stories, and its ancient gods will echo loudly through civilizations that have not even yet been born into this world. If this journey through ancient Babylon captured your imagination, even for a moment, then this remarkable story does not end here tonight. Subscribe now for more cinematic journeys through lost history, and tell us in the comments which ancient city we should walk through next.